She drops a Helluva Boss short. 40 seconds later, I already have 1,000 DMs from people being like, "Where's the Helluva Boss reaction, Danny? Why haven't you reacted to Helluva Boss yet?" Hey, where's your fucking Helluva Boss reaction? All I'm saying is you guys are so quick to demand a reaction video out of me. I've been doing this for like 3 years. Not once has anybody ever sent me a reaction video.
And so the monkey's paw curls. A reaction video, Danny? A reaction video, you say, Danathan? A reaction video, Danathaniel? Well, I believe I may be in a position to provide for you. Oh my god. Hello? Hi, yes, hi, it's me. It is currently 7 in the morning, and I have not slept. And the reason I have not slept is because my sleep schedule is bad. My sleep schedule is real bad. I go to bed at 6, 7, sometimes 8 in the morning, and then I wake up at 4 in the afternoon. And this is Scandinavia, and it's winter, so the sun is down at 3. I haven't seen the sun for a while, and it turns out in order to do things and be a part of a society, you need to be awake in the time when other people also are awake at the same time, so that you can do things like shop for groceries or Christmas presents and stuff. There are many things that you have to do while there is daylight in the sky that I haven't been able to do. So I've been trying to push my sleep schedule ever so gently. Just push it along such that I stay up longer and longer until eventually I stay up for so long that it's kind of like I'm awake for like a normal day. And so I've been casting around today. I've been playing a bunch of Indiana Jones and the Great Circle, which is really good. It's an immersive sim with Indiana Jones, which is like, how the fuck did no one else ever think of that before? And I've been dealing with the cats, which have all been really fucking troublesome today. Decorated our Christmas tree. I have paid, made sure a bunch of my bills were paid and reorganized my subscription payments, and now I'm kind of out of stuff to do. So, I remembered that some time ago on TikTok, I think it was, I encountered this clip from Danny telling other people that he never gets any reaction videos. Like, what the hell are you doing? And I remember thinking to myself at the time, oh, that's a funny idea. I should do that for a video. And now I'm sitting here like, I need to do something to keep my brain occupied because otherwise I will pass the fuck out. So now here we are. Hello, Danny. Here's a reaction video to your reaction video. It's we're beginning the first stages of forming an infinite Ouroboros because now you can react to my reaction. And then I can react to your reaction to my reaction, and we can just, like, form an infinite Ouroboros, the snake that eats its own tail forever, or, less flatteringly, a kind of horrifying YouTuber human centipede. I think that's a great idea, and definitely what both of our audiences want us to do. So let's do that. No, let's not do that. I'm somewhat sleep-deprived, because normally I would get up at, like, 4 in the afternoon, but today I got a phone call at, like, 12 in the afternoon that woke me up and I couldn't fall asleep, so I've been up since 12 and it's 7 a.m. now. And I can see forever. So we're doing this. Now, all of this isn't good fun. I know Danny, we've collaborated on a video before. He wrote a very nice essay about a Demon Slayer character that he loves for an essay collection over on my main channel, which if I was about to say I'm going to link that in the description, but let's all be for fucking real. We all know that, no, I'm not, and you're going to have to remind me. So please remind me in the comments to do that when I forget to do it after we're done with this. This is all in good fun. This is not YouTuber drama. This is not me coming after him or taking us. I mean, I'm probably going to poke a little fun at him. Maybe. I don't know. I'm in a weird mood. But none of it is attacking Danny Motta or fucking whatever. And I don't want in the comments under this video, if you have any negative opinions of Danny or whatever, leave them somewhere else. Not here. I'll just delete them and or block you if you're being an asshole. Because I don't fucking do drama over here. I try to just enjoy myself and have fun. This is my enjoy myself and have fun and do whatever the fuck I want channel. So none of that here, please. We're just here to enjoy some stuff and have a good time, and I am trying desperately to keep myself awake for another, I don't know. This is that's a 20-minute reaction-ish, something like that. Yeah, 17, 18 minutes. I can probably get 4 hours out of that, right? Yeah, sure. So, let's just go. Tell me about, Helluva Boss Mastermind, Danny.
Really? Every time?
Well, it's only this once. I mean, really?
This has to happen every time?
You asked me to. You said, someone else give you... I'm just doing it because you... Oh, you're talking to Vivsy, aren't you?
A new Helluva Boss episode dropped last week, which means all of my social media
no, yeah.
have been rendered completely unusable. I can't go on vacation, create a consistent uploading schedule, work on other projects, fucking breathe without Vivsy completely derailing my life. This isn't even funny anymore. This started as a bit, the idea of Vivsy uploading videos only when I specifically can't react to them. This is just cosmic cruelty. Episode 11 of Season 2 of Helluva Boss dropped on November 30th, 2024. Thanksgiving weekend. God forbid I schedule anything.
Yeah, I mean, you're not alone there, Danny. I'm convinced that she put shots into that fucking show specifically just to trap me for 45 minutes talking about how they turned the pixels in a way that makes my brain go brr. So I think she's just kind of coming for all of us.
So a new episode came out, so everybody's yelling at me because I didn't react to it because I suck and my life is trash. And so here I am, garbage boy, ready to take myself out for all of you. You guys ready? Everybody got their bins out on the curb? My name is Garbage Boy, and this is Helluva Boss Season 2, Episode 11. So
I'm the trash man. I climb into the ring. I start throwing garbage all the... I don't remember the bit from It's Always Sunny, but that's just the thing that came to mind. Like if the trash man is Batman, then Garbage Boy is Robin. Someone could probably draw fan art of that.
So here I am reacting to this episode a millennia late, just like I am every episode of Arcane, just like I am every episode of Link Click.
He's obviously doing a comedy bit here, but like it is real. Like the whole where's the thing? Yeah, no, that happens to me occasionally. Not so much with reactions, but with when is the next episode of all of the projects that you've started? And the answer to that is probably after I've started a new project at some point because I have ADHD, and that's just how I do. I'm trying to catch up on things, okay? I'm trying to get back to Final Fantasy 16. I'm trying to play Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. I want to get back to Final Fantasy 14 Eorzea. I also play video games that aren't Final Fantasy. Do you know, fucking Baldur's Gate, I want to finish my playthrough of that so badly. But now this new Indiana Jones game came out, and it's really good, and I can't stop thinking about playing it and wanting to play it all the time, because it's just so much fun beating up Nazis. So yeah, no, that happens, and it's... you can very quickly develop a really hostile relationship with your audience. Where... Like, and that's sort of, for me, certainly, that's an internalized shame thing, right? Because I feel kind of miserable and ashamed and upset with myself that I can't make all of the episodes of all of the things that I want to do. So every time someone goes, hey, when are we getting the next episode of that thing? Where they're just earnestly expressing genuine interest. Like, it's like, oh, I like that thing. I would like to see more of it. What I feel from that is like, why have you not given me what I want, you useless, pathetic worm? Why on earth should I bother giving attention to a worthless sack of shit like you when you cannot even? Right? That's the emotional experience of it, which is unfair to the person who's saying it, but also, you know, like, what the fuck else are you gonna do? It's the brain, which is bad. And the trouble is that YouTube reinforces it pretty badly, because like if you are able to get the thing out right when it's the most SEO friendly, right when it's most like, this is the thing that the algorithm wants right now, you get rewarded, not just with money, but with the green little arrow that goes up that says, ooh, extra engagement, more people are watching it, more people are clicking on, you get all of those nice little rewards. But if you don't do it, if you're a few days late, if you're not quite hitting it right when it needs to be hit, if you didn't quite get the title and thumbnail right for maximum clickbaitability, you get the gray downwards arrow, the sigil of your failure. You get, like, not that YouTube ever gives you the frowny face, it just negs you ever so gently. It's like, oh, your views are down because you've uploaded fewer videos than usual. Maybe you should upload more videos, you fucking useless sack of shit. Why aren't you producing more slop content for the algorithm? Fuck you. Anyway, my point is, Danny's playing a funny, haha, comedy bit character there, but also, there's a reality to that underneath it all.
My God, what happened to my year? God, I'm so actually angry right now. I'm so revved up for no reason. Dude, they're gonna call me Shadow the Hedgehog this video, because I'm coming in with straight chaos energy. Oh, by the way, on top of every...
What, as opposed to all of your other videos, Danny, where you're so calm and reasonable and and well-balanced? You're coming in with chaos energy now? Okay, sure.
Everything I just said, 100% of people have been DMing me, telling me I'm gonna hate this episode. Usually when a Helluva Boss episode drops, I get a trillion comments of people being like, oh boy, can't wait for you to see this one. You're gonna love it. You're gonna hate it. This is gonna change your perspective on so and such. Not the case today. Today, it's only you're gonna hate it comments.
Oh, this is good. Because I loved it.
Maybe I should call a cardiologist first. Maybe I should get prescribed to a heart pill I don't need, but definitely will soon. I don't see what everyone's been freaking out about. I'm getting a pretty happy, Christmassy vibe from this opening.
Oh boy.
How traumatic can a Christmas episode be?
Oh boy.
You seem in good spirits today.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no.
Oh yes.
This bitch.
And
Yup.
this whole time, you knew about the incredibly illegal thing he was doing, and you didn't think it might be a good idea to let me know?
What a resplendent queen. What a pure and honest definition of abracadabra. Yo.
Yeah, I mean, I like Andy's character design. I like the peacocking. I like the way that, like, he has this contrast between his, oh, yes, I'm so controlled and I'm smug about everything. But then the moment something really pisses him off, like, whoosh, has to put up that big peacock tail and be like, I'm big and scary.
So, honestly, I know they're fighting and their relationship is probably incredibly toxic. But find somebody who brings out the beauty in you. This dude just got so angry, he turned into a gorgeous dining room centerpiece. I'd take that over a partner who makes me happy any day.
Boy, the Allo Romantics. Are you guys okay? I don't think you guys are okay.
So, the four of you are... remind me again?
We're interns, sir. We're looking for cool businesses to work for.
Is that fucking Gerard Way? This
What?
kid looks like the lead singer of a My Chemical Romance cover band and has a PhD in gaslighting teenagers.
Wait, he does? Hang on. This is where I kind of wish I knew more about MCR. Because I don't. Interestingly, okay, so Danny seems to be watching all the episodes mirrored, which I guess is like a way to avoid the copyright claims. Which, yeah, I haven't really had that problem with Helluva Boss specifically for some odd reason. Like, they do copyright claim my videos of them, but I dispute it under fair use, saying, like, yeah, no, what I do is clearly not a replacement for actually watching the episode. I think, given that Danny's, like, only playing the clip, then reacting to the clip, playing the clip, reacting to the clip, and not playing the whole video like the fuck I do, probably should be able to get away with just, like, playing the thing as it is and disputing it on fair use grounds, but I can understand why he wouldn't want to risk that.
Interns, sir. We're looking for cool businesses to work for.
Is that fucking Gerard Way? This kid looks like the lead singer of a My Chemical Romance cover band and has a PhD in gaslighting teenagers.
Also, again, I don't know enough about MCR to understand whether or not that joke was funny.
We are going to beat you!
What?
But only a little! Fuck!
Doesn't this feel like a movie?
Yeah.
Or like a special episode or something? something?
Yeah.
You remember when the Powerpuff Girls or Ben 10 or like Ed, Ed and Eddie would release a movie on TV and the animation quality was like way, way higher and it just felt different? Like it just had a different vibe to a regular episode of the show. Something about the animation quality and the tone of this episode is giving me that exact same feeling I used to get when I watched those TV movies. And I can't tell if anything's actually different or if I'm just like, I'm still on that chaos energy.
Yeah. I mean, I certainly felt that there was a disconnect in the animation style between the first part and the second part of the episode. And I talked about that extensively, and I think it's because they're handled by different teams. And definitely the first part of the episode feels different than, like, the ending and, like, the general animation style of the episode so far. So, like, there's definitely a different vibe to it at the first half of the episode. And, like, Helluva Boss is pulling a little bit of that end-of-season fake-out, right? Like, the sort of, like, the thing that you'll get in, like, a lot of sort of seasonal television is, like, oh, shit, the end of the season is coming. Like, the last 2-3 episodes, like, we're gonna raise this enormous threat. Like, oh, my God, everything's changing, and, like, the characters are splitting apart from each other, and the status quo is, like, getting blown up, and nothing will ever be the same again. And then start of the next season, everything's kind of back to normal. And it's like, maybe we get like the first episode of the next season, like, oh, we resolved the situation. Don't worry about it. Back to the status quo. Like, that's sort of the thing, right? Helluva Boss kind of pulls that one a little bit because we open with like IMP getting burnt to the ground and like tear gas through the windows and the cops have finally come for them. And now they're going to get executed and thrown in jail. But it sort of also pulls the reversal immediately, sort of in the same episode, like, oh, no, it's actually it's fine, and things are kind of back to normal now, status quo, although not quite as blatantly, I think, as other seasonal television does. Like, I think Helluva Boss still introduces at the end of it a more substantial change in the neutral state of the characters, which is one of the things I like about the show.
The stakes are definitely higher than usual, that's for sure.
Yep.
I think it's just the fact that this is like a point of no return. Like, that's what's giving me this feeling. Like, the government is on their ass for a crime they did commit. I feel like there's a high chance this show is irreparably changed from this point forward.
Well, we'll see about that. 'Cause that's one of the things I'm curious about to see in season 3. Is like, how much are they willing to actually pull the trigger on changing the status quo, right? How much are they willing to actually give up on things being the way they are and sort of waddling around in the center of it? Given the way that they have claimed that the show is planned out, probably it's going to stick, right? Probably it's going to stick, but is that thing of like, we know how this works. I know how this works usually in seasonal television, so I have this incorrigible, cynical skeptic in my mind kind of going, yeah, you know what, like maybe 1 or 2 episodes and, oh, well, Stolas has his nobility back and he got his daughter back and Stella got punished and we're back to the status quo and him and Blitz are still sort of circling each other and like going anywhere. Like, I have my decades of cynicism sort of pushing me towards that path, primarily so that I can be pleasantly surprised when Helluva Boss doesn't do what I'm afraid it's gonna do.
Which is very exciting.
It's still funny.
Such an extreme amount of damage for such a short distance driven. It's like he didn't even attempt to not hit that pole. I swear to God, if they hurt a single hair on Luna's fur-covered body, I will never publicly eat dog food again.
I don't know if the thing to comment on there is the publicly or the again.
Is that what you want, Helluva Boss? Huh? You want to live in a world where I'm eating a steady, balanced diet of human food? 'Cause I don't.
We are here to sentence the criminal imp, Blitzo.
Is this Satan? He looks like a Bakugan with a gym membership.
Bakugan, fuck. I should have made that pull. God damn. Shit, Bakugan. I should have gone for that. God damn it.
No, right? Satan and Lucifer are the same guy, and there's already a canonical Lucifer in this world. This must be like the King of Wrath or something. Well, on the bright side, when this episode first opened, I was positive it was gonna be about Stolas' divorce. So this is honestly way better than that. Super happy to have been wrong about that one.
Your Honor, speaking on behalf of my aggressively attractive sister.
Sweetheart, speak on the behalf of your aggressively attractive self.
I mean, Danny is like, it's like, I'm sitting there going like, oh man, the fucked incest vibes between those two. And like, he's just like, nope, I am gonna hit on this horrible gay man.
Also, quit being so weird about your sister.
Oh, no, wait, yeah, no, okay, we're on the same page about that one.
Who, unlike a responsible and handsome goetic demon such as myself...
There we go, Elsa, that's what I'm talking about. Gas yourself up, queen. Again, though, you gotta cool it with the incest. I love the look, love everything going on here. You're gonna slay at the next Narnia convention, but cool it with that shit.
Oh, come on, like, listen, Andy serves a little bit of cunt. I'll grant you that. But like, next to Tilda Swinton, you think, like, no. Like, listen, he can try, but you can't stand next to Tilda, especially in the fucking Narnia. Like, no, absolutely not. No, like, he can have his little thing over in the corner. Like, sort of the kiddie cosplay table for the babies. And Tilda Swinton can be over there truly serving. Like, let's be real here.
That isn't what happened.
Satan, sorry.
Oh my god, it is Satan. I didn't know that was a different guy.
Wait. Where is Stolas anyway? Can't he speak on this himself?
Oh, don't bring Stolas into this. Leave him be.
Oh, no, Danny, I'm sorry. It's inevitable. Oh my god, how is he gonna react to the saxophone? Is he gonna react to the saxophone? Danny, please react to the saxophone.
He's probably just at home watching his stories.
Good call.
You know how he loves his stories.
Well, perhaps we should ask... the Hitman himself!
Quit giving Stryker screen time. This dude sucks at what he does. He's the worst. This
Yeah.
is a show full of assassins, and he's the only one incapable of killing anybody.
Well, but it's funny though. I mean, you're not wrong, but it is very funny.
None of the characters are even intimidated by him anymore. They all just want to fuck him.
If I wanted to kill Stolas, I would have done it my fucking self!
That's such a good point. I don't know why everybody's so shocked about this. If you wanted Stolas dead, he would have sent one of his super competent assassin employees instead of a walking sex joke.
I've met this little imp dude before. He's a real wild card, but he's a lot of fun.
I cannot believe they got Kesha back for this.
Right? Not like a starring role in an episode. Okay, fine, that makes sense. You can kind of get you can convince a celebrity to take a day out of their week to do something like. But like, just like, oh yeah, you're just gonna have a little guest appearance and like 4 lines in there, and you can still get them into the fucking booth and get them to reprise the character and get back into the who the fuck is like how? Who does the casting for Spindlehorse? Who is it? What sick secret pact with the devil have they made? Like, what dark and terrible crossroads were they standing at when they shook hands for that particular demonic power?
I thought we'd never see this character again.
Also, suck a dick.
Why don't you pass on back to your mutt?
Hey guys, kind of a trial going on here. Maybe want to take this food fight somewhere else.
You should have remained in your place, imp.
He was literally minding his own business at his own office, and you two have never met before. I get it though. This guy's just racist against imps. And it is honestly nice to see this show finally taking its themes of classism seriously.
Yeah.
Hey, jury! No texting while being the jury! Imagine if the jury was allowed to get texts from people watching the case happen live on TV. That would be insane.
Yeah, no, that's an actual that's part of the reason why trials aren't televised. because, like, you know, but it's also, I didn't actually think about that, but like the whole point of the whole scene in the courtroom is that the trial is a sham. It's a show trial, right? Like, it's like there is no jurisprudence. There is no like due process. Like, I was thinking proper procedure in my head, but due process. There's no due process. It's just a show trial. It's just the sins, and specifically Satan in particular, knocking the underclasses back into their place, because, like, what need does hell have for justice, right? The idea, like, oh, right, of course Ozzy would be texting during the trial because, like, he knows that this shit doesn't really matter.
Am I Lucifer? What are they doing?
Also, can you imagine watching TV and seeing your ex on trial for a death sentence? That would be awesome.
Like, are the Allo Romantics okay? Are you guys okay? Cause like it seems like it's more trouble than it's worth sometimes.
Dude, I would be the first one texting the jury like, whatever she did it!
Blitz, just... Moxie, stop.
Blitz, I can't let you.
This big red bitch never planned on hearing us out.
This is a crazy culmination of this show's classism themes. Like, seriously, this time? It's crazy that Blitz is, like, taking on the government right now. Like, this is embarrassing to say, but I never thought the show would take its themes of classism this seriously.
I'm still not sure it will. Like, again, mean old Mr. Cynic plot rotting around here in my brain, right? Like, I am very used to media that's produced under, like, the neoliberal paradigms of capitalism, blah, 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 you know the spiel, right? I'm used to it sort of taking up the ideas, the concepts of, like, class conflict, the concepts of structural oppression, gesturing towards them and saying, ooh, wow, yeah, the problems are bad. Oh, there's some bad problems, but the causes of those problems? Oh, the causes are great, right? Oh, yeah, capitalism has so many negative effects on the world. It's really bad, like poverty and people dying of preventable illnesses and, like, all of that in the military-industrial complex, but capitalism is great, though. Capitalism is funny. We just need the right people in charge of capitalism. We just like, oh, it's the wrong people who are in charge of the institutions now. That's why the institutions are bad. But if we just get all the good, nice people to be the cops, then all of the bad problems with the police as a structural, like, part of the justice system, they'll go away because the good people will no longer be doing the police brutality or the violence or have the same incentives to maintain a structure, right? I'm so used to media doing the fucking flag smasher thing. Like, the fucking Marvel thing was like, oh no, yeah, the villain has sympathetic reasons, but he was going too far, and here's the hero who's gonna come out and be like, oh wow, those problems sure are bad, but we all are gonna solve them together in some ill-defined cooperation way of maybe sometime in the future we'll all come up with a solution together because of cooperation, innovation, development, peaceful process, engagement, democratic, right? Like, I'm so used to that. I'm so used to media walking right up to the line of recognizing a real problem and then just kind of being, but I'm sure the problem is just that we need to refocus and recommit to all of the things that we're already doing, and just we need to do those better. And then the problems that are caused by us doing, like, but by the things we're doing, they'll just go away if we just do the things we're doing better. So I'm still sitting here like, okay, so you've taken the step, right? Like, you take the step of very specifically being now a legal trial, and it's a show trial, and we can see there's the class conflict, and, like, the sins and, like, the upper demons are just basically treating the imps like chattel. You've taken the step, now follow through. And I think, I hope, I pray, I beg them to do so. But also Spindlehorse kind of works for Amazon a little bit right now. I don't know.
Just...
Muzzled Luna is wild, by the way. Haven't mentioned it yet, but it's for sure been on my mind.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that showed up in the fan art. Oh, data moshing.
I love you guys.
No, right? Like, obviously no.
Obviously no, yeah, but still, I was there kind of sitting like, I think I did have that during the reaction. Like, it would be very funny if Blitz died and went to heaven. It would be very funny if Blitz died in hell and went to heaven. Like up in heaven, Sarah is like Serpentius has just teleported in and she's freaking out about that. And then like from behind her, the voice of fucking Brandon Rogers, right? Like, hey, Angel bitch, like, is there a place to get a drink around here? Like something like that. Someone write that fanfic, like where it's Sarah is being driven slowly insane by Alex Brightman and Brandon Rogers just doing bits in heaven at her. That would be delightful. But yeah, no, obviously no.
Zero chance Blitz dies, right? Oh, Swubby saved him!
I am about to explain everything in the only way I know how.
Do it in song!
Yeah. Oh my god. I thought for sure they were faking it out, right? I thought it was going to be the Moana thing, right? Like where it's like, there's that scene in Moana where they're on the rock over the underworld and Moana looks off into the middle distance and kind of goes, the ocean chose me for a reason. And like, you can kind of hear the music setting up for a swell. And then we do the fucking millennial Joss Whedon as if you start, like cut to the rock going, if you start singing right now, I'm going to be sick because we're hanging a lampshade on the trope because, that's funny. They fly now. They fly now. They fly now. I thought for sure that's what the show was doing. I thought for sure it was like, it was going to be like, I shall explain with song. And then that someone was going to go, no singing in my fucking courtroom. Like, use your words. But no, he does get to sing and it's wonderful.
Song!
Yeah, no, my reaction as well. I didn't verbalize it out loud because, you know, I have a deep and manly voice affect to maintain, and I can't go around squealing like a schoolgirl the way that certain other reactors can. But I was feeling it on the inside.
I came down just as soon as I heard of the imp stood accused of a devilish crime.
It sounds like a parody of What's This?
Yeah, see, exactly. I had the same pull. I thought it was Jack's song from Nightmare Before Christmas, but as it turns out, I think Haft. I think it was Haft. Sam Haft, one of them. The composers were talking in a TikTok, I think it was, about the composition creation of the song, and explained that what Jack's song from Nightmare Before Christmas was referencing was a little bit of Bach. And that they were referencing the same Bach piece. That's why the song sounds similar, but the reference is like older than that. I should find that Bach piece. That I should actually like to listen to that. Da 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 da. Like it's that bit
from Nightmare Before Christmas, doesn't it? Or something. It's maybe not that specifically, but it sounds like some other song that also sings in like a walking down steps kind of melody. Do 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 do. You know, like that kind of vibe.
Some
yes.
kind of mastermind, a mind behind the plan.
What is this?
Yeah.
I love this. I love how weirdly theatrical it is.
Yeah.
God, he's the perfect character, isn't he? This is such a weird bit for him to do mid-court. I love how he's just, like, really feeling the drama of this scene. Reminds me of Tuxedo Mask from Sailor Moon.
Shit, you're not wrong. Shit, you're not wrong, actually, a little bit. Yeah, there is some of that there.
I am the mastermind, the hand that holds the strings.
This is such a weird tactic for him to take, but this song does bang.
And I have no regrets. I have regrets.
The little swap into major. Like, I didn't even notice it. Again, Sam Haft talking about the composition. Like, that we go from, I am the mastermind, the hand that holds the strings. Like, that we're in this minor mode, and then the moment we swap into the power ballad, right into the major mode because we're about to get 80s with it.
Is he having a manic episode right now? This is such a random and bipolar song.
Well, isn't that adorable?
Oh, please chime in with a sinister verse.
I am the master.
What? Hey, you skipped over the fucking... The power ballad bit with the saxophone? You skipped over that, Danny!
Mastermind. And here.
Yes! God, who said fan service had nipples attached to it?
Hang on, what? Scusi, signori Motta.
And here.
Yes! God, who said fan service had nipples attached to it?
What? What? What did you just say? Oh, okay.
Use your powers! Do something! Stolen! Let me back in!
Is Stolas gonna get executed?
Oh, that would have been good. Again, dies in hell, goes to heaven. That would have been very funny. God, can you imagine Stolas in heaven? Poor boy. Like, you can't get a decent soap opera in heaven. Where's he gonna get his stories?
Because no. Right? For some reason, I kind of buy this more than I buy Blitz getting executed. There is a 4% chance that Stolas is executed.
Because, like, Stolas up in heaven with no telenovelas, no soap operas. The only musical you can go and watch is fucking The Sound of Music. Like, how is that man going to survive without Cabaret? How is that going to happen? I don't think he can.
Ooh. Ooh. Call me an owl because, ooh. Dude, if I didn't have, like, 4 minutes left in this episode, I would need to take a walk.
Aren't you going to, you know, execute me?
Oh, no, of course not.
Okay, yeah, I did kind of see this coming.
Yeah.
I feel a little bad because, like I said, a lot of people were DMing me, being like, you're gonna hate this episode.
I mean, there's still time.
This episode made me cry. It's an emotional roller coaster. There hasn't been a single second in which I actually thought Blitz or Stolas were going to die. This has been a pretty lighthearted and fun, silly episode. Yeah, it was tough when everyone's crying for Blitz because they thought he was going to be executed. But it was like, it just cuts to them and they're already crying. Like, it's not like I got, like, a crazy, like, emotional breakdown from Moxie, you know? I didn't get, like Luna, like, fighting for her life to get Blitz to survive. Like, it's not like, I don't know, there's still time.
Yeah, and he's right about that. Like, the episode is not constructed as a desperate struggle to save people from tragedy that is doomed to end in failure, right? Like, think of the end of Rogue One, right? Like, Rogue One as a movie, the whole movie is structured around all of these motherfuckers are gonna die. Right, like, these people are not the heroes, these are not the rebels, these are not the Luke Skywalkers of the conflict with the Empire, these are the scumbags, the backstabbers, like, the people who do the dirty work, like, the randos, the weirdos, like, the ragtags, right? And their whole thing is, like, they're gonna get the Death Star plans to Princess Leia so the space opera can start, and they're all gonna fucking die. And the whole movie is structured around this conceit, is structured around building up to that final tragedy release, and then, like, the catharsis of seeing that they have brought hope to the galaxy. How successful is Rogue One at that? That's a matter of opinion, but the whole movie is structured around that. So, like, when you get to the part where they all start dying, it's like, yeah, no, we knew it was going to get there, and it's not about being shocked that they're about to die. It's about having invested enough in the characters to care that they die, right? This episode of Helluva Boss doesn't do that. It's not building up to, like, it's not laying the groundwork. It's not planting the death flags. It's not leading us up the emotional garden path to the point where it's like, oh shit, we can now engage with the tragedy that's about to happen, right? And that's what Danny says, right? Like, we don't get those long scenes of characters desperately struggling against the inevitable, no matter how futile it might be, because the power of their love animates them to, you know, do the impossible. No, like, none of that. It's the structure and the pacing of the episode itself makes it pretty clear that, like, yeah, no, like, the climax of this narrative isn't going to be anyone dying, right? That's, like, the structure of the narrative. Like, if someone is gonna die, and that's the emotional climax of the movie, you can kind of feel that in the rhythm of a story, right? As it's being built up. That episode of Helluva Boss doesn't do that. So, like, if you have some experience with media, like if you've been through the roller of these things for 20 years or whatever, you kind of develop a sense for, okay, that's not where the story is going, so I don't really need to be on tenterhooks for that. Compare and contrast with something like Arcane, right? Which is a show that like has made an art out of always priming the audience to be ready for absolutely everything to get completely fucked at the drop of a hat, right? Arcane is like that a lot. It's built into its structure this idea that like shit is fragile and it can fall apart in a minute, because that happens multiple times, especially in the first season, right? So it's a very different experience, but like, yeah, no, like, again, my thinking was that if Blitz got executed, it would be so that there could be like a reveal that when imps die, they go to double hell, right? If Stolas got executed, it's so that it could be revealed that, oh, when Goetias are killed, they reincarnate as imps, and then we'll get Imp Stolas for the next season, right? Like something like that. Not that the character would be actually for real, definitely dead, but if there is a death, an execution, it would be in the service of a different climax, right? That's the feeling.
There's definitely still time, and I almost had to take a walk.
And allow someone else to take over his legions. Considering the heir isn't yet of age, I'd be happy to volunteer.
I'm like so down for this outcome. I love this ice bitch. I wouldn't mind seeing Stolas go on a peasant arc. He wouldn't end up dead or imprisoned. This is like a perfect compromise.
For the next 100 years.
Oh, motherfuck!
Oh, so it's not even that bad.
Yeah.
What about my daughter? She'll be safe and sound with her mother.
That kind of sucks, although to be honest, your daughter kind of sucks. So this is still a net positive.
Nathaniel the Third, Dan Torino, Dan the Man, Danny Boy? You better not have a bad word to say about my precious little baby, Octavia. Or else, what am I gonna do? I should have thought this through. I don't have a threat. Like, what could I possibly... I'll make a video about your character designs and why they're bad. I'll roast your outfit. I think that's about all I have. I'll roast your outfits. I think that's all I really have.
I have been banished.
You suck, Stolas!
Oh wait, the Stolas peasant arc is gonna make me upset, isn't it?
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Gracias. But okay, the throwing, not necessary.
Wow, what a role reversal.
Yeah.
This is really interesting.
Yes.
So glad you're okay. I love you, Dad.
Oh, the Stolas peasant arc is going to make me very upset.
Yes.
Oh, try not to inhale the water.
Oh, hey guys, maybe keep an eye on this dude. He's kind of going through it a bit. Oh, nice, and they don't fuck. What a happy ending. I really don't know what you guys were talking about. This is such a positive ending. This is such a positive forwarding of this plot.
Yes.
Stolas being banished and like dropped down to the status of a peasant is like such a good alternative to him dying. And Blitz,
I mean, low bar. Most things are preferable to termination, but you know.
Blitz is at least like gonna hopefully be a good friend to him about it. I'm so here for the Stolas peasant arc, the Blitz friendship arc, the Blitz rise to fame arc could be interesting as long as he doesn't become super shitty about it.
But I want him to be shitty about it, Danny. I want it to go to his head. I want Blitz to get all that adulation and get all of that, like, social pressure to be the working class hero they've all been looking for, and I want it to turn him a little bit shitty. I want it to go to his head. I want him to, like, get all of that sweet, delicious validation that he's always been craving his entire life and be unable to handle it. so that it makes him a little shitty, so that he begins to have like that understanding of like, oh shit, that's how fast it happens, right? That's how fast it can turn you into someone like Stella. Like that's my dream scenario, is that we get like, if we're getting Stella's backstory, it'll be a thing of like, we see the ways in which being raised with that, like, well, you're better than everyone else by default because of who you are. Being raised with that can turn a person into just like a raging piece of shit. And like, we see the parallel, like where Blitz gets held up as like, well, you're special because of who you are. Like, you are the hero because you're just a special kind of better imp than everyone else. And that turns him into a little bit of a fucky-wucky shit fuck McFuck guy. And that he has to sort of cope with, power corrupts, actually. Like having that kind of social capital corrupts. And like being placed atop of a pyramid just makes all of your shit and piss run downwards and drip on everyone else who's below you. And it doesn't really matter whether you're a nice person, so long as you're up top, that's where your shit and piss is gonna go, right? Like, it's gonna flow down. That it's the structural position of being adored, of being put on top of things like that just sort of inevitably has a corrupting effect on a person, and that the antidote to that is Marxist class politics. I just want the show to have Marxist class politics. I guess that's the conclusion we're drawing. No, I want it because it's good for drama. I want it because that would be, for me, that would be a good way to get both Blitz and Stolas. Like, that would be the reversal, right? That Stolas now has to learn what it's like to live as someone who's looked down upon for being who they are, and spat upon and discriminated against for no fucking reason except the way they happen to be born. Stolas has to learn what it's like to be an imp, so that he begins to understand why shit is so fucked for people like Blitz, right? And Blitz has to learn what it's like to, like, be privileged for a bit, so that he begins to understand the ways that privilege warps a person's brain, like, no matter how well-intentioned you are. And that he thus begins to understand, oh, that's why Stolas was being such a sort of patrician, heavy-handed, paternalistic asshole about, like, just deciding to change our relationship without so much as talking to me about it. It's because, like, when you get when you get fed with that thing of like, well, you're the superior, you're in control, you're the one who gets to make the decisions, that's the mindset that you adopt, right? Like, it's, for me, that's kind of where I want it to make Blitz shitty a little bit.
That's the only thing. This could be tough if Blitz becomes, like, too big for his britches and too big for Stolas. I'm hoping that since we're still currently on the Blitz redemption arc, he keeps this energy, where he's like, you know what? I deserve this fame, but it's not going to change me or my relationship with Stolas.
Again, I don't think Blitz is there yet. Like, I think that's where it's going. Like, I think by the end of the second season, or whenever they decide to pull the trigger on that, I think it'll be a thing of like, yes, Blitz will eventually sort of realize, oh shit, like, this is turning into something bad, and I am not going to drive myself into that abyss. Like, this time I'm going to step back from it before it becomes a problem, because that's his character development. As you very correctly point out, that is his character development. That he's learning to be better, right? I think that's where it ends. But I think before we get to the point where he learns that, he has to fail at it. Like, he has to fall into the trap before he can learn to avoid it, to step outside of it, to grow from it.
We'll obviously, like, change him a little, because that's funny, and because it, like, is in line with Blitz's personality. But I would love to see Blitz start to be shitty to everybody but Stolas. Like,
oh, that's actually a good point. Oh, fuck, you're right. Yes, it needs to be everyone but Stolas, because that's the same way that Stolas was. Stolas was shitty to other imps, right? Like, we saw him be inconsiderate and like kind of shitty to his, like, butler, and inconsiderate of other people, but having this very special affection for Blitz alone. Yes, Blitz should have the same thing, where he's, like, shitty towards all demons, but it's like, oh, well, of course I don't mean you, Stolas, right? But it's like, oh, he'll go out and make these public speeches. Oh, all of the Goetians are just piece of shit, garbage, like, fuck demons who hate everything, and they suck, and they're all arrogant, and they're all shitheads, and they're all, like, ontologically the worst things in the world. And he's not going to be completely wrong when he's talking about the upper classes, but he's going to be like, well, of course not you, Stolas, right? Yes. Yes, you are correct. Yes.
I think that would be a great step in his redemption, where he's like, he can, like, for whatever reason, seeing Stolas allows him to cut through the bullshit. I just realized those interns never show up again, so that was weird. That's all I have to say on them. Yeah, good outcome. I think it's gonna be a really interesting direction for the plot to take, because it really was a point of no return. Blitz didn't go to jail, but I think his business is over. Probably. Stolas is no longer, like, a noble. What's-her-face's sister, Bitchface's sister, Bitchface's brother, my bad, now runs Stolas' empire. They're probably fucking. Just real cool.
I mean, I think they've confirmed that Andy is gay. Although, you know, the weirdness isn't, like, I really, again, this is where I'm wondering, like, how much of that incestuous implication with Stella, how seriously they're going to take it. Like, again, it's that question of, like, to what extent is Stella going to be shown to be a victim of the structure that she's a part of as well, right? In the way that, like in, like, right-wing conservative politics, right? Like, right-wing conservative politics is misogynistic at a baseline, right? Like, it's like, abortion, no, you don't get to have the rights to that. Fuck you. You don't get to have the rights to your own body, right? Women, right to property, not really. Divorce, oh God, we hate divorce. We hate divorce. Like, women shouldn't get to leave their partners, right? Like, that's at a baseline, that's where right-wing conservative politics are, right? And yet there are right-wing conservative women who are victims of those structures of abuse, but who nonetheless also try to benefit from a certain position of superiority within that power structure, right? Like, and Stella is very much, like, I think, a character in that mold. Like, she's someone who is a piece of shit. She's an asshole, who uses her position within this system of power, like, to enact abuse on other people. The question is, like, how much on top of that is she also herself a victim of that system being abusive at a baseline? I'm curious.
Cool, interesting plot.
Right, and so, like, so the incestuous sort of implications with Andy over and over again, like, how much of that is like that? How much of that is going to be shown to be like this really toxic, manipulative, abusive, exploitative dynamic from him, right? Where he at once denigrates her and thinks of her as stupid and like hates her and, like, verbally abuses her and degrades her, at the same time as he goes, well, you're lucky, you're hot, you're only good for your body. Like, oh, that's the only value you have, dear sister, is that you are beautiful because your mind is a sack of garbage. Like, how much of that is going to play into, like, an abuse dynamic where it's like, oh, that's why Stella turned out the way that she did, is because her entire life she was told her only worth and value is to be a pretty trophy wife that can be married away to some other Goetia to make, like, to gather power. And beyond that, like, why would we educate her? She doesn't have a brain. She doesn't need to have a brain. She doesn't need to think about anything. Why would we educate her? Why would we ever tell her no about anything? Why would we teach her responsibility? Why would we teach her any other values except be hot, make baby, produce heir, be useful to the family, right? Like, that's how you get a piece of shit like Stella, right? Is by abusing a child into becoming an abusive shithead.
Developments going on, and no one was that hurt. That's what's great. I mean, like, Stolas has gone through way worse than this.
I don't know about that. I think, actually, like, losing his daughter, I think, is akin to a death blow for Stolas. Like, losing access to Octavia. That's the other thing I'm curious about, like, in terms of, like, how much of the status quo is actually changed in season 3. 3? 4? 3. Is, like, how much are they going to commit to the idea that Stella now has control of Octavia? Right? Because, like, we know Octavia knows how to leave. She's gone on an adventure to the human world herself, like, already. Octavia has the rebellious spirit to, like, go out on her own and go and find her father, right? So, like, what's the extent to which Stella and Andy are going to control her and control her access to information? Like, are they going to successfully convince her that her dad is dead? Or are they going to try and say, well, your dad chose the imps over you? Right? Like, is it a manipulation thing where they're going to try and turn Octavia into another Stella? Because, again, if we're exploring Stella, it kind of has to be through the relationship with Octavia. And I think it's going to have to kind of be a thing of Stella trying to turn Octavia into another version of her. Because that's the only way Stella knows how to survive in, like, the Goetia society that she's been raised in, right? Is to be this heinous, raging bitch. Because that's the only way you can survive, you can cope in the position that you have in a society like that. And that she's going to try and turn her daughter into that as a sort of twisted, fucked up form of love where she's trying to protect her daughter. The only way she knows how, by, like, reenacting the abuse that she herself went through, right? And I wonder about that. Like, I wonder how hard they're going to commit. I wonder if the start of season 3, they're going to go, oh, we just rebuilt the Imp headquarters because Blitz is famous now, and we just rebuild it, and it's a famous business, and they're making lots of money, and they're still gonna go adventures in the human world to do assassinations, and we're right back to the status quo, except Stola's lives with Blitz now in the... like, how much are they gonna commit to the real changing of the dynamic, right? Like, to the real changing of the status quo into something that cannot be returned from. I hope it's a lot. I hope they're committing to it a lot, but the cynic in me, the cynic is still there.
It just felt fast.
Yes.
You know,
Holy shit, it felt fast.
Episodes are usually like 28 minutes. I feel like any of the moments that could have really gotten me to be emotional were too fast.
Yep.
Again, when Blitz was on trial, there was like never a moment in which they tricked me into thinking he was actually going to be beheaded. Stolas, very briefly, but, like, that was even shorter. It'd be cool if they really milked it, where, like, they made...
Again, they could have done, like, the slow-mo, the axe comes down, Blitz closes his eyes, we get, like, a montage of moments from the past where he thinks of, like, the things that have happened and the people that he cares about, and, like, mourns for the life that he never quite got to live. We get to see, like, one little brief glimpse of his mother in his memories, like something like that, right? I agree. I think they could have milked it a little bit more, but again, I think it was partly out of a, like, somewhere I saw that they said that episode had been, like, written for like 3 years or whatever. Like they had this thing ready to go for ages as a script, right? And maybe they've updated a few things here and there, but like, and I kind of think maybe it shows that like this is a script that was written before there were like this many episodes preceding it with stuff to fill out that could have been milked for emotional payoff. Like maybe that's why they're sort of going at a pretty fast clip, is because it was planned to be something that came out like at a point, like without planning for all of the weight that the show has acquired in the meantime. That's possible.
Moxie and Millie and Luna like say some shit to Blitz before he went up on the chopping block that they never would say to him otherwise, because they think he's going to die. Otherwise, good episode. Definitely not like the best of the season. Probably, I think, the worst of this second half of the season.
Ooh, spicy.
There's zero jokes, and it's like the other episodes like really got me emotional because like the consequences were happening, you know, like again with the execution.
I mean, yeah, like fair enough. Like compared to Apology Tour and Full Moon, yeah, I guess like you can make that argument. I guess you could make that argument. Like this was a capstone. It wasn't so much a climax as it was just kind of finishing off what the other episodes had been already sort of grinding through.
Consequences weren't happening. There were threats of consequences, and I called the show's bluff. Me saying this is the worst episode of the second half of the season isn't to say it's a bad episode.
Yeah.
It's not. The song's great. Am I gonna remember any moments from this episode moving forward? Probably not. It's a very necessary, plot-heavy episode that's not funny at all and not that emotional, but it sets up a lot of exciting stuff.
Come on, Satan with his anger therapist is at least a little funny and certainly a little kinky if you've been paying attention to the fan art. Like, come on, a little bit. Also, fucking Mammon and Envy, That haunts me a little bit, like, because envy must, like, it must be a thing, right? Like, where Mammon is, like, just kind of stupid and greedy, and then envy has, like, this split personality thing where one of them is, like, it must be an envy thing, right? Like, it must be a thing of, like, he interacts somehow with some fucked up aspect of the sin that she is, surely, because, like, envy, girl, you can do better. Like, if it's because he has, like, that beautiful, big, like, fat bear body, it's like, yeah, no, like, that's completely valid, but you can still, there are people with that body type that have better personalities. I'm just saying.
That's probably going to be a pretty controversial opinion. I hope the jokes in this video make up for the fact that I didn't give the reaction I think a lot of you wanted. But I'll probably do a live stream discussing this episode, either this week or next week.
God, I feel that pressure also a little bit. Like, it's like, you get that thing of like, ooh, I hope, like, when he gets to this thing, or if he does a short about that thing, or if, like, I want to see his take on this, and it's like, what if I don't have the take that you want me to have about it, buddy? I'm glad you're excited to see my thing, but what if I have very different feelings about it than you expect me to? Because that's happened a lot, where a lot of people are excited for me to get to something or something, and then it just kind of washes over me, or I don't have much of a reaction, or I have an opposite reaction to what they expected. And then sometimes people get upset at me for not feeling the feeling that they were hoping that I would feel, and that it's an unpleasant experience to have total strangers tell you that you feel wrong. Like, I remember the best example of this that ever happened to me was, it's funny now, but in the moment it made me quite angry, in fact. I did a live stream sort of tier list ranking all of the League of Legends champions based on how hot I think they are, and I don't think a lot of the male League of Legends champions are that hot. Like, just, they are not hot to me, I'm sorry. Like, I put a bunch of them in the rank of, like, I can see how this is hot to someone else, because that's what they are. Like, that, I don't really think of a lot of them as particularly attractive of the male champions, because I just don't. And I got a message from someone very resentfully saying, well, I feel that you have queer-baited me, because I thought, since you were very, like, queer positive and gay positive, that you would also be attracted to men, and the fact that you have not put any of the male characters in the category of saying that you're attracted to them, that means that you are queer baiting, and that's very irresponsible of you to do, to queer bait people with yourself like this. And I had to rewrite my response to that like 10 or 15 times, just because I was just kind of ended up yelling at this person that they're a piece of shit and to get the fuck out of my face. And I ended up writing something that was moderately more sort of well-balanced and polite, but it's like, the fuck do you mean I queerbait? I have made a specific decision on the internet to not disclose my sexuality, because I believe that, for me personally, I know that there's politics to being out and all that stuff. For me personally, what my sexuality is between me and whoever I'm fucking. And if that ain't you, you don't need to know, right? I've made that decision. I'm out about being aromantic, right? Like, I've been clear about that, because I believe that the visibility for that category of person is very important. For the rest of it, I have decided that that is private to me, which is my human right as a person to decide who gets to know. I don't owe anyone a coming out as straight, as gay, as bi, as pan, as whatever the fuck it may be. I don't owe anyone a coming out, and neither does anyone else on Earth. I want to emphasize this. You don't owe someone a coming out, ever. Coming out is a gift that you give to people, not an obligation that you have. And there are complexities, there are layers to that in terms of, like, the necessity of representation and visibility, but on an individual personal level, no, absolutely not. So, like, I've had that policing, right, where other people try to police my identity for me, right? Other people try to police what my opinion should be, because of the impression that they have of me, right? Like, I had the impression that you were like this, and how dare you, therefore, not hold the opinion that I think you should have based on my impression of who you are, right? And that's a very unpleasant experience. I don't know how to explain to someone who's not doing content for a living how unpleasant it can be for people to treat you that way, to act as though if you behave honestly with them, if you tell them the truth of your feelings and your opinions, if you are authentic with them in any way, that they will react to that as though it is a betrayal, a failure to perform the persona that they want from you. Because that's a real category of person. And that, like, I gave that extreme example, right? But it happens in a million little ways where people kind of go, well, that's not the service I was expecting. This is not the product I was expecting from this channel, from this influencer, from this personality. It can fuck with your head, man. And it can make it really, really hard to engage authentically and in good faith because you start self-censoring. You start kind of going, they're not going to like that, so maybe I'll just alter it a little bit so it feels more like what people were probably expecting from me. I feel that, like that thing Danny said about, like, I'm sorry, this was probably not the reaction a lot of people wanted from me. I feel that, like, that pressure, that thing of like, well, shit, my honest reaction is probably going to disappoint people. And it's like, that's a little fucked up, though, when you think about it. That's maybe a thing that we shouldn't feel like we have to apologize for, actually. That's maybe a thing that we shouldn't sit there having guilt over honestly expressing the truth of how we're actually feeling and thinking. That probably shouldn't be a thing that we say, I'm sorry, that's not what you expected. Like, no, like, you get what you get, motherfuckers. You don't get a sorry. Danny, don't say sorry either. Like, I'm not gonna... You handle your audience relationship the way that you do. But I'm just saying, like, no, fuck you. You're not gonna get a sorry from me from that. Ever. Ever again. Never. I refuse. I think there's something insidious and fucked up about that.
So hop on that and feel free to call me a dumbass if your heart so feels inclined. And
No. Here I am gonna... He's joking. He's making a joke, but I'm just gonna talk to any of Danny's audience who sort of come along and found me here and who has stuck around for the, oh god, however the fuck long this thing is. No. Do not... Like, he's joking with you. Do not take that as actual entitlement to hold that ownership over his opinions. Like, don't do that. I think that is a bad relationship to have with an influencer of any kind. I don't care who it is, what they're reacting to. No, like, when he tells you his honest, earnest, actual opinions for real, accept it. You don't have to agree with it. You don't have to praise it. You don't have to love it. But you have to accept that that's what it is. And you can't call him wrong about his own opinions.
I will see you guys next time.
Anyway, that ended on a weird note. Yeah, go subscribe to Danny if you want. Like, he does reaction like what you have just seen, and he's pretty funny. I think, yeah, he's like crested 1 million and something on TikTok now, and he's like, I think he's gonna do Epic the Musical reactions when he hits like 1 million on YouTube, I think is the deal he has with his audience, and he's like barreling towards that shit right now. And I've had it in my head to react to Epic the Musical for ages now, because I've been listening to it. But now that I know that like the Ithaca Saga is coming out on the 25th, I've had it in my head, okay, it's like, so between Christmas and New Year's, that'll be the time when I do it, because then I can do the whole thing at once. But like, I should check what his subscriber count is, because if that motherfucker is gonna beat me to the fucking Epic the Musical, absolutely not. Like, for some reason in my head, I just got competitive about that. Like, no, I'm gonna be first. I'm gonna get there before he does. Why? Who cares? But no, okay. I guess that's our feud now. I've decided that is our feud. Is I'm gonna react to Epic the Musical before he does. I don't know if I'm gonna do that. What the fuck am I talking about? Oh, I'm so fucking sleep deprived. But now, yeah. Danny, he's cool. Go subscribe to him if you like that kind of stuff. But anyway, Danny, you asked for a reaction, and severely sleep deprived. Here's one for you, buddy. I hope it was worth it. I need to advertise my merchandise store because I promised myself that I would do it. There it is. It looks like that is crowdmate.com/collection/TBSkyen. There's a link in the description. I have merch with stuff. There's my face on some pins. I'm working on better merch that's more like, this is just the shit that I could put together in foot. And also, like, this one's actually really fucking cool. This is by the artist Schizo, and it's the character that I play in the actual play power play thing with the D and Dorks, where I play a superhero named Umbra. And it's a really fucking cool design. I'm ordering a bunch of those for myself because I want to wear them. That's really fucking cool. The rest of it is stuff that I myself have put together and drawn and illustrate and do stuff like that. So it's a little bit less cool, but you can still use it to pay me money for being the way that I am as a person, which I don't know if that's a thing I should be rewarded for. But, you know, the arc of the universe bends towards profound injustice. So spend money on my shit, I guess. Bye.